Chapter 9. Disaster Management. Let's learn natural hazards and disasters, earthquakes, cyclones, tsunami, flood, droughts. We frequently read in newspapers about natural calamities or disasters occurring around the world. What is a natural disaster? Nature, while providing ways and means for sustenance of life on earth, is also one of the biggest sources of destruction. Earthquake, flood, drought, cyclone, landslide, etc. have the potential to cause widespread destruction. These are called natural hazards. When such a hazard causes destruction, it is called a natural disaster. But if proper preventive and precautionary measures are taken to reduce loss of life and property, the hazard does not become a disaster. Natural disaster is any catastrophic event that is caused by nature or natural processes of the earth. The severity of a disaster is measured by the loss of life, property and resources required for rebuilding. Any natural disaster can interrupt vital services such as healthcare, electricity, water, garbage removal, transportation, and communications. The disruption can have a tremendous effect on the health, social, and economic networks of local communities and countries. Disasters have a major and long-term impact on people even after the immediate effect has been eased. Improper and unplanned relief activities can have a significant deleterious impact on disaster victims as well as on donors and relief agencies. Local, regional, national and international organizations join hands and help in mounting a humanitarian response to disasters. Each of these organizations has a disaster management plan. These plans cover prevention, preparedness, relief and recovery. Earthquakes. Earthquakes occur at fault zones where tectonic plates collide or slide against each other. Tectonic plates are what make up the Earth's crust, its outmost layer. These impacts are usually gradual and unnoticeable on the surface. However, immense stress can build up between plates. This stress causes vibrations called seismic waves to pass through and around the earth in wave form, just as ripples are generated when a pebble is dropped into water. Info hive. The place where bumping and sliding occurs along the plate boundaries is called a fault. The study of earthquakes is called seismology, and the scientists who study earthquakes are called seismologists. The location where the earthquake begins is called focus. Epicenter is the point on Earth's surface located directly above the focus of an earthquake. The earthquake is felt the strongest near the epicenter. It is measured using readings from an instrument called seismograph. The intensity of an earthquake is measured on a standard intensity scale called the Richter scale. An earthquake measuring between 3 and 5 magnitude is considered normal. When the magnitude rating is between the numbers 5 and 7, this is regarded as moderate to strong. Major earthquakes are rated between 7 and 8, and rating of 8 or more is a seriously large natural disaster. Brain tickler. Why does Japan have the highest frequency of earthquakes? Info hive. The Richter scale is graded from 0 to 9. An earthquake is difficult to predict and often is accompanied by a lot of destruction. The April 2015 Nepal earthquake, also known as the Gorkha earthquake, killed more than 8,800 people and injured more than 23,000. It occurred at 11.56 NST on 25 April with a magnitude of 7.8. Centuries-old buildings were destroyed at UNESCO World Heritage Sites in the Kathmandu Valley. Continued aftershocks occurred through Nepal within 15 to 20-minute intervals, with one shock reaching a magnitude of 6.7 on 26 April at 12:54 NST. Precautions. Move out to an open area such as parks or open grounds immediately. Keep away from electric poles, tall buildings, trees and signboards, as they can fall on you. If you are in a vehicle, park it on the roadside and stay inside it. Make sure that the vehicle is not near trees, electric poles, etc. If you cannot move out, take shelter under a sturdy table and cover your head with your hands. Never use a lift during an earthquake. Use staircase instead. Loss of life can be avoided through emergency planning, education and construction of buildings that sway rather than break under the stress of an earthquake. If inside a theater, an auditorium or stadium, stay inside and do not panic. Cyclones. Cyclone refers to any spinning storm that rotates around a low-pressure center. Cyclones develop when a low-pressure area is surrounded by high-pressure zones. Winds start blowing towards the center at a very high speed. These winds are accompanied by heavy rains and can be very destructive. The low-pressure center is also referred to as the eye of the storm. The areas surrounding the eye will be the most affected because of the strong wind. Tropical cyclones occur over tropical oceanic regions. Hurricanes found in Atlantic and Northeast Pacific and typhoons found in Northwest Pacific are actual types of cyclones. Here is a picture of cyclone Hudhud path and its affected areas. India has a coastline of about 7517 kilometers, of which 6100 kilometers is along the mainland. The entire coast is affected by cyclones of varying frequency and intensity. 13 coastal states and union territories in the country are affected by tropical cyclones. 4 states, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Odisha and West Bengal, and 1 union territory, Puducherry on the east coast, and 2 states, Gujarat and Maharashtra on the west coast, are more vulnerable to cyclone hazards. The coastline of Odisha was hit by cyclone Hudhud in 2014. It invaded the port city of Visakhapatnam in Andhra Pradesh on 11 October, leaving in its wake widespread wreckage, fallen trees and damaged buildings. Till October 20, the death toll due to cyclone Hudhud was reported to be 46. Out of these, 29 deaths were reported from Visakhapatnam district alone, while 15 people died in Vizianagaram. The loss of food grain production was estimated to be around 2.2 million tons according to government figures. Precautions. Listen to weather reports on radio, television and read them in newspapers regularly for any announcements for cyclones. Keep an emergency kit ready containing torch, first aid kit, non-perishable food, candles, matchboxes, a portable radio and waterproof bags. Immediately leave your home with your family and seek safe shelter with friends or other relatives when informed by the government. Do not venture into the sea. Avoid flood water and be wary of snake bites. Drink boiled water to prevent catching a waterborne disease. Info-hype. The terrifying word cyclone has been derived from the Greek word cyclos, meaning coil of a snake. Tsunamis. A tsunami is a series of ocean waves that sends streams of water, sometimes reaching heights of over 100 feet onto the land. These huge waves of water cause devastation when they crash ashore. Tsunamis are caused by an underwater earthquake, a volcanic eruption, or a submarine landslide. A tsunami is usually composed of a series of waves called a wave train, so its destructive force may be compounded as successive waves come ashore. A small wave only 30 centimeters high in the deep ocean may grow into a monster wave 30 meters high as it sweeps over the shore. As the massive wall of water crushes on shore, it can cause several coastal erosion, which is the washing away of coastal land or beaches. The force of water can also wash away vegetation, making it hard to re-establish the shoreline. The force of some tsunamis is enormous. Large rocks along with boats and other debris can be moved inland hundreds of feet by tsunami wave activity. A tsunami can cause a tremendous amount of structural damage. The force of the water crushes homes and businesses and destroys infrastructure such as roads and bridges, causing extensive damage. A decade ago, one of the largest earthquakes ever recorded struck off the coast of Indonesia, triggering a tsunami that swept away entire communities around the Indian Ocean. About 228,000 people were killed as a result of the 9.1 magnitude quake and the giant waves that slammed into coastlines on 26 December 2004. Precautions. If earthquakes lasting for more than 20 seconds are experienced near the coastline, immediately vacate that place and rush to higher grounds. Find out if your home is in tsunami-prone area. Know the height of your street above sea level and the distance of your street from the coast. Areas prone to tsunami or high-risk zones must have warning systems installed. A tsunami is a series of waves. Do not return to an affected coastal area until authorities say it is safe. Teach members of your family how and when to turn off gas, electricity and water, and also share with them the evacuation plans. Plan an evacuation route that leads to higher ground. Sometimes the seawater may recede up to 800 meters from the coast. Never enter this temporarily dry area, as the seawater may return soon. Info Hive. Coastal flooding occurs when a large storm or tsunami causes the sea to flood inland. Floods. Flood is an extremely destructive natural calamity. It has the potential to wipe away an entire city, coastline, and cause damage on a large scale to life and property. It also has a great erosive power. Floods occur when an area that is usually dry land suddenly gets submerged underwater. Most common reasons for floods are rivers overflowing their banks, excessive rain, a ruptured dam, or even rapid ice melting in the mountains. It may also be caused by a change in the course of a river, blocking of river channels due to landslides or deforestation. Flood water spreads over the adjacent land, called a floodplain. When floods happen in an area that people live in, the water carries along objects like houses, bridges, cars, furniture, and even people. It can wipe away farms, trees, and many more heavy items. India is one of the most flood-prone countries in the world, with about 1/8 of its total area estimated to be flood-prone, most of it in the plains of North India. Precautions. Move to high areas like the roof of a house or a treetop. When there's a warning about a flood, inform others around you. Keep torches, candles, and matchboxes handy, and a waterproof cover for keeping food and other items dry. Drink boiled water and freshly cooked food only. Contaminated water can cause waterborne diseases like cholera and typhoid. Keep enough stock of food, medicines, water, and waterproof bags to store things. Wait for the rescue team or disaster management teams and take help from them. Find out about the rescue routes to safe shelters and prepare your family for the same. Droughts. What happens if it does not rain for a long time? Soils dry up, surface runoff is reduced, and groundwater level is lowered. Rivers, lakes, ponds, and reservoirs tend to dry up. Wells and tube wells are rendered unserviceable due to lowering of the groundwater table. This condition is known as drought. It originates from a deficiency of precipitation over an extended period of time, using a season or more, resulting in a water shortage. Info Hive. Rajasthan is one of the most drought-prone areas of India. 11 districts of the state are in arid regions, including Jaisalmer as the driest district. Out of the total geographical area of India, almost 1/6 area is drought-prone as it receives very low rainfall and lacks irrigation facilities. Rajasthan, Gujarat, Western Odisha, Rayalaseema, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Jharkhand, central Maharashtra, interior Karnataka and Chhattisgarh are the drought-prone regions of India. At many places, agriculture is dependent on the monsoons. Lack of rainfall severely affects crop production and leads to famines. Proper management of water resources can prevent the ill effects of droughts. States such as Punjab, Haryana and Uttar Pradesh have been successful in providing better irrigation facilities for agriculture. Brain tickler. How has the Green Revolution helped in overcoming droughts? Precautions. Growing crops that are able to survive in less amount of water like sorghum, millet and maize. Rainwater harvesting is another way to conserve the rainwater and use it for various purposes. Increasing the green cover by growing trees. Using water-conserving irrigation techniques to allow optimal usage of water and avoid any wastage. Developing advanced irrigation facilities to sustain crops in the water-deficient period. Recap. Earthquakes occur at fault zones where tectonic plates collide or slide against each other. Cyclone refers to any spinning storm that rotates around a low-pressure center. A tsunami is a series of ocean waves that sends streams of water, sometimes reaching heights of over 100 feet onto the land. Flood is an extremely dangerous natural calamity and has the potential to wipe away an entire city, coastline, and cause damage on a large scale to life and property. Drought originates from a deficiency of precipitation over an extended period of time, usually a season or more, resulting in water shortage.